In the darkest corners of the web lies a horror story that defies human understanding. Today we delve into the terrifying tale of Peter Scully and the horrors he unleashed on the dark web. Prepare yourself to plunge into an abyss of darkness. In the digital labyrinth of the dark web, people of all kinds give free rein to their most sinister sides, even paying large sums of money to witness unimaginable atrocities. Acts of sexual violence and torture against innocent children, so young that they are just beginning to discover the world. Do you want to learn more about this chilling investigation? Subscribe to this channel and get ready for what we're about to reveal, something you won't find elsewhere. Meet Peter Scully, the digital predator behind one of the most sinister child pornography sites on the dark web. Born in January 1963 in Australia, Peter Scully appeared to lead a normal life with no signs of depravity. He was married with 2 children and lived with his family in Narre, a suburb of Melbourne. Scully seemed like an ordinary person, operating a real estate investment company, promising investors significant returns on their contributions to property developments. However, Scully diverted the funds for his personal use, resulting in the loss of millions of dollars for his victims. Scully's fraud in Melbourne not only left his victims in financial ruin, but also attracted the attention of Australian authorities. Facing mounting legal pressure and ongoing investigations, Scully fled Australia in 2011, heading to the Philippines, where he would go on to commit even more heinous crimes. It was the beginning of Scully's descent into a life of crime. His ability to manipulate and deceive others foreshadowed the horrific activities he would later conduct on the dark web, where his infamy reached international levels. In Manila, he began a series of crimes that would eventually lead to his life sentence. With the trafficking of minors, he attracted girls and boys to his sexual exploitation network, taking advantage of the poverty and vulnerability of low-income families, promising them a better life. But in reality, they were subjected to terrible abuses. His modus operandi involved earning the trust of impoverished families by offering them food, money, or work for their children, whom he would then take to his residence, where they were subjected to various forms of abuse. Scully's victims were subjected to extreme torture and rape, and some of these acts were recorded, distributed, and sold on the dark web. Although an exact death toll has not been confirmed, he also murdered at least one of the girls under his control. He built a huge child sexual exploitation network posted on the website, where he live-streamed his abuse, abduction, torture, and murder of multiple girls, generating extremely disturbing material and selling access to people around the world. His most notorious video, Daisy's Destruction, was extremely disturbing, offered on the dark web through a site called No Limits Fun, NLF, and sold for up to $10,000 due to its extremely graphic and sadistic content. That particular video, divided into several parts, depicted acts of extreme abuse and torture against a small child, making it one of the most sought-after materials in the darkest corners of the dark web. Daisy's Destruction was so horrific that for a time, it was considered an urban legend until authorities confirmed its existence during the investigation and eventual capture of Scully in 2015. This case is notable not only for the brutality of the content, but also for how the dark web can facilitate the distribution of such atrocious material, attracting buyers willing to pay large sums of money to access these videos. Peter Scully is currently serving a life sentence in a Philippine prison. The capture of Peter Scully was the result of an extensive investigation carried out by Philippine authorities in collaboration with international agencies. Scully had managed to operate on the dark web for several years, selling his child exploitation videos, and his arrest marked a significant victory in the fight against online child exploitation. The initial investigation began when Philippine authorities started looking into reports of several children going missing in Mindanao, Philippines. As they delved deeper into these cases, investigators realized they were dealing with something far more sinister. The leads eventually took investigators to the dark web, where they discovered that Scully was selling videos of child abuse, including the infamous Daisy's Destruction video, which had already generated a lot of rumors, and was what first drew the attention of law enforcement due to its brutality. Peter Scully's capture was the result of a coordinated international operation involving Interpol, the Philippine police, and agencies from several countries. They tracked Scully's online activities and connected the crimes he committed to his operations on the dark web. In February 2015, after months of investigation, Philippine authorities managed to track down and capture Peter Scully in a house in Malaybalay, Mindanao. At the time of his arrest, Scully was accompanied by his girlfriend, who was also detained in a coordinated operation that included the raid of their residence and the collection of evidence directly linking Scully to the videos of abuse and torture. During the raid, numerous pieces of evidence were found, including video recordings and recording equipment, which confirmed suspicions of the atrocities committed and were crucial in securing his conviction and highlighting the severity of his crimes. The capture of Peter Scully was a major step in the fight against child exploitation on the dark web. It not only ended the criminal activities of one of the most notorious predators, but also served to raise awareness of the horrors that can proliferate on the dark web and the necessity of international cooperation to combat these crimes. Ruby Malinog, one of the prosecutors handling Peter Scully's case, stated that the videos were the most devastating she had ever seen in her life. This case has left an indelible mark on society. It not only exposed the vulnerabilities of child protection systems, but also revealed how easily criminals can exploit the dark web to carry out their most atrocious activities. Understanding cases like this is crucial for raising awareness about child sexual exploitation, a crime more common than many realize, and for urging governments to toughen laws against sexual abusers. The story of Peter Scully and Daisy's destruction is a chilling reminder of the horrors that can be born in the shadows of the internet. It serves as a warning about the dangers of anonymity on the dark web and a call to action for everyone, from governments to individuals, to work together to combat evil in all its forms. As long as there are places where monsters like Scully can operate, society must remain vigilant, protecting the innocent and fighting against the darkness that threatens to consume us. If you're interested in learning more about the dark web, hit the bell and subscribe to this channel.